So this is the entities, okay? And inside the DB context, okay, this DB context, so this class actually represents all our database. Do you remember before when we didn't have databases? Do you remember when we said we will create a class that has list of everything that will serve as our fake database? Okay. Remember when we created a list of all students, list of all courses? Okay, so this is a very similar class, but it's like part of entity framework. So in this class, you should have a class called something entities. Okay, it inherits from DB context. Okay, we will talk later what is DB context, but it represents a database. Okay, and what do you have in your database? So if I told you, imagine the database as a class, the whole database. How would you imagine your whole database as a class? Your whole database as a class will look like list of all courses, right? And a collection of all programs and a collection of all students, right? That's your database. Okay, look at here. Okay, like this is my database, right? What is my database? It's a collection of courses stored in here, collection of programs stored in here, collection of students. Okay, so this class is actually to represent the whole database, the one that inherits from DB context. And I can access all the tables using this class. So the table courses is actually this same table. So it will, when you say db.courses.all or get all of them, you will actually get all the contents in here. Okay, so what we need to learn now is this DB set. Okay, DB set is a special type to represent a table. Okay, you need to use DB set here, okay, because it's part of how entity framework works. So DB set is a special class that represents a table, a whole table. Okay, and it's auto-generated for us. So when you create an object from this class, first DB entities, then you will have access to all courses in your database, to all programs, to all students, right? So in the program controller, they created an object, they called it DB, call it DB because it actually represents your what? Your DB, your database. So they created an object from this entities class, and now DB has access to what? To all programs. You can say DB dot, and you have access to all courses, to all students, to all programs. Okay, so if you want a list of all programs, all what you need to do is call db.programs.toList, and now you have access to all programs in here because this class, okay, the DB, the first DB entities represents our whole database. Each table is called what? A DB set. Okay, each table is called a DB set. Okay, it's a special type. Okay, that's how it's created. That's what they called it. Okay, to represent a whole table. For us, it's a DB set. You can imagine it as a collection of all courses, collection of all programs. Okay, but the special type is called DB set. Okay, so in the index, all what you need in the index is what? Is to bring all the programs in the index of controller program. Okay, the programs controller. In the index, when you open the programs, do you see, what do you see? You see list of all programs. So all what you need to send to the view is what? List of all programs. Okay, let's go to the view. Okay, so this is programs. Okay, and this is the index. Okay, so this is the view of index. Let's see what do we have in here. So what is this view expecting to receive? Is it expecting a single program or a list of programs or a string or an integer? The index one. So it's expecting a collection of what? Of programs. which is IEnumerable. So you can, here they use interfaces a lot to like make it generic, but you can make it list. That's fine. Okay. But they try to use the parent, okay, which called IEnumerable, which represents a collection. So here, this view is expecting a collection of programs. Okay. Okay. That's what we learned previously. The title of this page will be indexed. Okay. And most of what you see here is just plain HTML stuff with some Razor code inside. So let's go to the index page to match what we see with the code, and let's match them line by line.
Excuse me, Mohammed.
Yeah.
So, can you go back to the code to the CS HTML?
Okay.
The top link, like the first link. Like
Uh,
it's usually should like I just don't know why it's missing something called model. Like
no,
you
it's not
can you,
missing. Add model.
no, like usually like what we did for our like last exercise or assignment like is usually like after the first site with DB and it's dot mod and dot program, right? If you want to have
I'm
a
really
list.
not sure what you're talking about. Like, first, are you talking about this code, the HTML,
Yeah,
or
the
here?
line number one.
Okay, line number one. What
Yeah,
we
like
did,
usually
okay,
we just do like add model and
yeah,
then and space. It's gonna be like a list of first site with db dot model dot program, right?
yeah. But this program is right away inside this project. It's not in the folder model. So here, the folder model is empty. Let's
Oh,
go to program, like to know the full name or the full, like what we call it, the full path of something. Okay, this is class program. Okay, it's inside what?
okay, okay, okay. I
Okay,
got it. I
so
got it.
so
So it
program
could
is
be.
inside this one. It's not in models, so you don't need to write models.
Oh, okay, okay,
If it
okay.
was in folder models, okay, it will be called first program dot models dot, but it's not in models.
Oh, okay,
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 so from the class you can know what is the full qualified name here.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so all
Thank you.
what all what you need to do here is to refer to the class you want. Okay, now it
Okay,
could be in models, could be not. Okay.
okay.
Okay, now let's
Thank you.
see, let's try to match what we see with the code. Okay, so index, this is the word index in H2. Okay, that's the word index in H2. Okay, then you have a link, actual link to, it's called create new, to take you to the function that's called create. So see this create new, okay? It's this link, and it will take you to the page that's called create. Where is this page? It's in the program controller cell. So in the program controller, there is a page called create. Okay. So let's continue. Okay. So create a new, that's it. Then you have a table. Table, see, this is the whole thing here is a table, right? So first you have those titles. So instead of hard coding the title, you can hard code it. You can hard code the word name and the word capacity, but there is a way to make it dynamic in Razor code, is by using what we call display name for. So display name for, like here you can just write the word capacity or the word name, okay? But if you want to make it dynamic, so in the future, if you change the name of this field, it will take the new name, okay? You can use the display name for. Display name for is like displaying a title, okay? It's not about the contents, so it's not about the 50 or the word science, it's about the title of the thing, title of the field, okay? So it will display a title for you. Okay, so that's what we say HTML dot display name for, and here, okay, model dot name, like display a title for the name, display a title for the capacity. Okay, just in terms of Lambda code. Okay, then it's time to show the actual data. Okay, now I showed the title. Okay, nice. Now it's time to show the data. The data is a collection, right? So what do you need? You need a for each. Okay, so for each item in model. Okay, what is model?
Collection.
Yeah, so model is what you sent to the page, to the view. What did we send? We sent a collection. Okay, so for each item in the thing that I sent to the view, okay, what do you want to show? You want to show the actual values. Okay, you want to show the actual name and the actual capacity, right? So that's what we use display for. So be careful that display name for is only for titles. Display for is for what? For values. Okay. So what is the value of the name of the first program? Is IT. What is the value of the name of the third program? Science. And now it will display it for you. It will display the value of the name, not the title of the name. Okay. Title is display name for. The value is display for. And of course, you would say, okay, display the value of the name, display the value of the capacity. Then, okay, in each row, like see in each row, near the IT, there are those three buttons. Near the art, there are those three buttons. So inside the for each, there are those three links that keep being generated. Where's the code for those? Okay, that's it. HTML.action link, HTML.action link, HTML.action link, those three links. Okay, those three links are being done inside the for each. What does that mean? That means they will be generated for each item. So for each item, you have those three buttons. One for edit. We will talk about the parameter that you send here. But basically, like when you want to edit, then you need to send the parameter, the ID of the IT. Here, when you want to edit, you want to send the ID of the art, right? Otherwise, how do you know which one you are editing? So here, inside the action link, you can send what is the thing you want to edit or what is the thing you want to delete. Okay, so you can send the ID of the program as a parameter with the link. You can see the link here, like in Firefox or Chrome. Down here, look at the generated thing. Can you see the link at the bottom of Chrome or Firefox? So it's telling you, I will edit the program number 1. Here, I will edit the program number 2. I will get the details of number 2. Why? Because we are passing the ID to the link, the ID of the program to the actual link. Okay, so this is the index page. Okay, and we should be able to understand everything in the index page. Now, for other pages, we can do the same. Now, let's go to the details page. What about the details page? Okay, so let's go to the details of the IT. Click on details. Okay, so this is the page of details. Let's go to the details HTML. This is programs. This is details. Okay, here. Okay, this one is from the easy ones as well. So when you want to see the details of a program, what do you send to the view? Do you send a program or a list of programs?
Program.
You send one program. That's why at model is what? Is one program. You are not sending a list here. Okay. So you will send a program to this page. This is the header in the page. Okay, the word details. Then display name for the title of name. Then the title of capacity. Sorry, title of name, and right after it, the value of name. So you have display name for, then display for. Then you want the capacity as a title, and then the capacity as a value. So you have display name for capacity and display for capacity. One will show the title, one will show the value. And what do you have at the end of the page? Like when you see the details of a program, you want to be able to either edit the program, this one that you are in, or go back to the list. So you have two action links. One will take you to the index, which is this button, and one will take you to the edit page. Okay, and that's it. That's the generated code. It's extremely easy if you already did some views. Okay, it really makes sense. The only new thing is in the action link, we are sending a parameter. Because the edit page, it needs to know what is the program you are editing. It needs the ID of the program you are editing. That's why you need to pass it with the link. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the details controller. What do we have in the details controller? We can learn a lot from the details controller. So programs controller, the details page. So the details page needs to know what? What is the input for the details page? When you type the URL of details page, you need to send what? You need to send the ID of the program you went to see the details for, right? Otherwise, the details page won't know what program you are talking about, right? So when you request, yeah.
Sorry, why is there a question mark after int?
Yeah, question mark, this means it can be null. So this is nullable. This is a quick way to say that it can be null or it can be an actual number.
Okay.
It's just like a standard way to do. But you can get rid of it. It's just so if you don't have it and you open the details page without an ID, you will have an exception. So when you have it, you won't have an exception. Okay, so let's go here. So notice the URL of the details. So it's in the programs, right? This is the controller name, then the function or the page name details, then what? ID of the program you want to see the details for. What if I change it to 2? Enter. Okay, what if I changed it to 3? Okay, so this page, all what like it's like you are typing the URL or clicking on a link. Okay, you need to say what is the ID of the program you want to see the details for. Now, imagine you sent nothing. Okay, this one will take you to a page called bad request. Because it's actually a bad request. Like you are asking for details, but you didn't say what is the program you want the details for. So that's what we call the bad request. See here, okay, the line 27. If ID is null, return new HTTP status code result bad request. So this is how you return this page, bad request page. Okay, so it's a formal way. It's called HTTP status code result. Then what is this? It's an enum, okay? Because you have so many code results. You have bad request, forbidden request, okay? Access denied request, you know, those not found, 404, not found, okay? So you have this bad request. So this is like the formal way to return it. Now, I asked for details of number 3. Okay, that's cool. It's here. So it's not null. I passed this if. Okay, now I'm behind it. What if you send number 5? Do I have a program with number 5? Okay, so what should happen now? So it will return to you something called not found. So you did send an ID. Okay, that's cool, but you sent an ID for something not in our database. So you need to be careful that bad request is different than not found. Not found means the request is good, but it's not in the database. Okay, so how do you know if it's in the database or not? You need to query the database, right? Using the ID. So there is a function called find, okay, that works with lists, I guess. So you can say db.programs.find, or you can use the where or first or default. Now, since you want only one result, it's better to use find or first or default. If you want the list, you can use where. But like you can query the database as you like. You can use whatever you want. So how do you know if it's in the database or not? You need to query the database. You can use the find. Now, the creator of Entity Framework, they decided that the generated code will use find, but it's totally fine to use first or default. Okay. Now, okay, you queried the database, so the program could be there or couldn't, right? So if the program is null, what should you return? Yeah, HTTP not found. Now, HTTP not found is very common. That's why you can return it right away. Return not found. Okay, rather than using a result like this. Okay, it's just like different ways. Okay, and it's generated code, so you can control this one. This one you can change. Okay, you won't see a warning that, oh, please don't change this code. This is just to help you kickstart, okay, with your controllers. But you are supposed to add, you are supposed to enhance it. Okay, it's not like those where you can't touch them. Here you have a warning that please don't touch this class. Okay, those you are not supposed to change. But the controller is just like, you have those few lines to help you kickstart and start writing code. Okay, so if you provided a number, but the program is not there, you will have HTTP not found result. Now, if the program is there, what should you return? If you did find the program, what should you return? The program, right? Send it to what?
To the view.
To the view, which is expecting a single program. Okay, and this is the whole process. So it will, like, we will see this code all the time because it's auto-generated. But it's very important to know what is the meaning and what's happening here. So first, if you didn't send any ID, you will get bad request. If you send an ID, okay, fine. We will try to find it in the database. If it's found, okay, nice, returned. Otherwise, we will say, oh, we don't have this program for you, sorry. Ugh, I talked so much. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so that's the details page, which is actually the easiest one. Delete is also simple. Delete, oh no, actually delete has a submit. So delete is get and post. Those are only get. We will talk later what is get and post. And you will notice that the rest, the create has a get and has a post. So let's leave that for later. Okay. What we want to understand for today is only the index page and the details page. Okay. So now we know how details works, how index works. Now, what if I want, okay, the index page itself to show only the programs that are with capacity 40 or more? So now the index page is showing all the programs for you, right? What if I want the index to only show the programs with a capacity of plus 40? First, let's go fill those guys who are null. Details, let's, the IT, let's edit it. So the IT, the capacity of the IT, let's say 30. The art is 25, or let's say 35, 45. I want it in the result. Okay, so see the index page, it's showing you everything, right? All the programs. What if I told you in the index page, we only want to see the programs where the capacity is plus 40? What would you change? The controller or the view?
Controller.
Why?
Because we need to use query, like link query.
Yeah. So here, look at the query in the index. It's bringing everything, db.programs.tolist, everything. What if you want to limit the result to only plus 40 capacity? What would you do? How do we
Oh.
filter the programs?
Program dot select. Oh, sorry,
No.
the program dot where the capacity equal to 40.
Okay, so where is the function that we use to filter? Okay, so here I can say something like db.programs. So not everything. I need to filter where program p dot capacity is bigger than or equals 40, and then convert it to a list. Okay, let's see now. Let's see it at work. Now you can do this in the view. So in the view, you can write a condition inside the for each, but this is not the work of the view. The view is supposed to show stuff. The view is not supposed to filter stuff, to like make those conditions or query the database or do anything. You collect what you want to show and send it to the view. Okay, let's go to programs. So you will notice now the index page is only showing the art and the science because they are plus 40, while the IT is not shown. Okay, what if we want to make this a page? Okay, let's put this back. So let's remove this where. What if I want to make another page called another page like index, like details, but I want to call it programs, or big programs or large programs or programs plus 40, call it whatever you want. But that page is supposed to show you the programs more than 40 or more than maybe a parameter. So you send a parameter, a number to the page. Okay, so if you send 10, it will show you more than 10. If you send 20, okay, can we do it? Of course, it won't be auto-generated. You need to write it yourself.
You want us to change the details
Yeah.
how?
No, not change. Create a new page called programs more than, or filters programs, or call it whatever you want. Okay.
Okay.
Where you send the parameter, where you send is the minimum capacity, and you show all the programs more than this capacity.
Okay.
Okay, so let's make it a page instead of using the index.
This is funny. Done.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's try to do it together. So first thing we need is the controller code. Okay, so public action result. Let's say it's called programs with capacity. Okay, and it takes a parameter. Okay, let's say it's nullable. It takes a parameter like minimum capacity. Okay, so here if the ID is null, oh sorry, not ID, if the capacity is null, if you didn't provide one, okay, then we want to let's say we don't want to return this bad request. Let's say the capacity is 0. If you didn't specify capacity, okay, let's say the capacity equals 0. Okay, so we won't have errors here. Okay, now if okay, now if everything is working fine, I need to bring all the programs where the capacity, the minimum one is this. So var programs equals db dot all programs. Okay, I need to filter here. Bring me only the programs where the capacity is this or more. Dot convert it to lists. Okay, and return programs. Okay. Now everything looks fine now. Was
View.
View.
sorry, return view. Oh, okay. So everything looks cool. So what should I create now? I have the code for the controller. I should create the view. Okay. But you may notice that, oh, it will be the same view as the index, right? Like it will be the exact view. Like, what are you sending here? List of programs to be viewed, right? Okay, the index one is already doing this. The index view, this here. Okay, this one is already taking a list and showing, and this is what I want. So can I reuse this one? Now, of course, you can create a new one, maybe copy paste the code if you want, and change whatever you want to change. But if it's sorry, if it's totally identical, okay, then you can use what? You can say, okay, I want to use the view in the index, please. And this way it will reuse the index view instead of creating one for you. Okay. Considering you want the same thing. Okay. Okay, let's try it out. So let's go to programs. Programs, or let's go to the index first. Okay, this is the index. Okay, everything is showing up. What if I want this one that's called programs with capacity? Okay, and I want where capacity equals, what did we say? 40. So it will only show where the capacity equals 40. What if I chose 25? Now it will show everything. What if I chose 50. Now it only shows the science. Okay, and it's reusing the same view as the index because the index is supposed to receive a list and show it. Regardless, like the index doesn't know, or this view doesn't care about what's in the collection you are sending. It cares that it's a collection of programs. Now, all of them filtered or not filtered, it doesn't care. Okay. Now, what if I want to change this word? Like, I don't want the word to be index. Like, I want it to be programs with capacity. Okay, I want it meaningful. Like now, it always will show index for you. How do I send this small info to the page? You know, like I'm to the page, I'm sending a list of programs, right? What if I want to send something extra, like a title, like a word here and there? What was the thing that we used? So we can use the view back. Okay. So here you can say, okay, I'm like along with programs, I want to say the view bag dot, let's say title. What did we call it here? Okay, we can change the title and let's change this word. Let's call it
Message.
header. It's called header. Okay, equals programs with minimum capacity of, and then send also the capacity, okay, the parameter that you just send. Okay, let's call this the header. And also let's change the title. So view bag the title in this page called programs with capacity. Okay, so I'm just filling the view bag with meaningful information for this page, so I can distinguish it from the index view. Okay, we say the view bag is a bag. You can put whatever you want. So you already in the code you are already setting up something called view bag.title. But let's remove it from here. So I no longer want it to be hard coded. I want to send it from the controller. Okay, so it's just like it's just a string. You can send it here, send it there, and here instead of index, like always the word index. No, I want now to send at viewbag.header instead of the word index. So now the word will change depending on what you send. Okay. Do you remember the view bag? Okay, you can send whatever you want the view bag, and I'm showing it here. Okay, so here in the page, I'm saying, okay, the header will be this. The title will be this. Okay, that's the title. Okay, what about the index page? What do you want the header to be? viewbag.header equals what? Index, just index. And viewbag.title equals also index. Okay. Okay, let's see if this works. So all what I'm doing is here, I'm just sending a message, a word to be shown with page. So let's go to programs. Okay, so it's still called index. Okay, but now when I go to programs with capacity, okay, I don't see the word index again because this is not the index page. This is another page, right? So now I will see this message. Programs with minimum capacity of 50, and now I see like meaningful stuff. Okay. And notice how the title of the page even changed in Firefox. So this is the header, what I called viewback.header, and the title will be here. Okay, just so you distinguish the two pages from each other. Okay, let's go back to the code, see if you still have any. So this is the controller and the view is still totally the same. All what I changed is instead of hard coding the word index, I'm now taking it from whatever in the viewback. Okay, please make sure it's working.
While we check, I got a question. Before,
Yep.
when you were showing us the details page,
Yep.
you said in the address window, you said detail/2, and it will show ID2.
Yeah.
And I tried with like ID, like a question mark ID equals 2. It also worked that way. But when
Yeah.
I tried it, when I tried it with our latest one, did like
Yeah, it
capacity
won't work.
slash 40, it didn't.
Yeah, it will only work with the word ID. So if your parameter name, if the parameter name is called ID, it will work with slash. Now, anything else won't work. So the word capacity, you need the question mark capacity. Okay, so it's a special because
thanks.
most of the time you use the ID. That's why it's special for ID. Of course, you can change that, but you need to work with like special code. Like here in the route config, you need to change it and add something else. Okay, we will take a look at that later, but there is a reason why it's working with ID. Okay, and you can make it work for other stuff. Okay, is there any one who is having problems making this work? Okay, now we want to create a page to show all programs, just like the index, but under each program, I want to show all the students as well. How about that? So this is the index page. You can copy the code from here just to like start. But notice that I am showing the name of the program. I'm showing the capacity. Okay, cool. But after this, I want to show all the students that are in each program. So we want to try to do that. And this will, we will start it now and it will be our homework if we didn't finish. Okay, so let's start doing it right now. This is our last request or last prepared thing for today. So today we did lots of stuff actually. We installed the SQL Server, we built our very first database, we connected our database to our program, to our website. We are dealing with it. So today's course, today's class was extremely important. I hope that you at least understood 70 or 80% of it. But the good news is this is what we'll be doing for the rest of the course. Okay. You really need to try to review it quickly so We will be accumulating lots of new information over and over. Okay? So please make sure that everything is okay in this class.
So we want to create this
So,
new thing in under program controller, not under student controller.
Yes, a new page called programs with students, new page, where under each program you show all the students.
Okay.
Kind of like the way we did with the exam, like with branded.
Yep.
Okay.
Kind of like the same thing. Now we are bringing real information from a real storage. Okay, so no, I finished yet. Let's see if you can do it at home. It shouldn't be that hard, but maybe, for example, the students are coming empty or you are not able to find them for some reason. So you can search for that. Okay. If it's not working, it's fine to search and find solution. If it's working, that's great. Okay. So okay, we'll stop here for today. Please try to make sure to attend the lab. Okay, we are not taking attendance, but it's for you. First, you paid for this. Second, you do need this. Okay, lab is extra exercise, extra things to work on. Sometimes you may hear or we may mention stuff in the lab that we didn't mention in the class. So please make sure to attend. Please make sure to work on the exercises there. Okay. And if you have any question, feel free to send it to me. Okay. See you tomorrow, guys. I will send this code right now, but I can't send the database, so you need a working database. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
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 Bye.